welcome. Yeah, we got
Welcome.
sound on. There we are. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Another Saturday night. We are so much closer to, not so much closer than last week, but we are so close to football season. I'm very excited, man. Very excited. So
It's like
how's
five
your
Saturdays, right? 5 Saturdays till
I
college
haven't been
starts.
I
That's
haven't
what
been
I
counting
that's
that, but it's close. It's close. So yeah, can't wait, man. Can't
I'm
wait.
ready.
All righty. Welcome to the Sideline Podcast. My name is Kevin Showalter. Wow, butchered my own name. That's how you know you're
Yikes.
having a day when you've been outnumbered by 3 kids all day. So, co-hosting this madness is the one and only Jared Booker. We love football in all forms, college, fantasy, and the NFL, of course. So, if you love football, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Give us a comment on X if you are watching. We are going to talk some fantasy football later in the episode, so feel free to drop any fantasy football related questions you might have. Dynasty, hey, this is a trade I might make. What do you think? Not because we're experts in everything, but we just love to talk about football. So drop it in there. We'd love to interact with you guys. Tonight we have trivia making a return. We're kind of on or off again on trivia, but we will stay consistent because it's a fun way to start. And the off season is just, it's a bit of a crapshoot. So we got some NFL news, training camp. We had a training camp preview episode last week. We have 2 teams fully in training camp, a bunch of teams with rookies, and they will all be reporting by Tuesday. So excited for that. We've got some reports out of the Chargers and Lions. Reports, not like official reports, but just our thoughts, our feedback on those 2 camps. So sounds so official. We've got Adam Schefter sent us text message. No, we've got last week we did NCAA coaches on the hot seats. We have 2 NFL coaches that are on the hot seats. So we will see who Mr. Booker thinks is on a hotter seat. We've got another college football player breakout of the week, and then we've got who will be the number 1 pick in next year's draft. Again, these are all going to be short segments. If you haven't listened before, we're going to blast through a bunch of rapid fire things. And then at the end, we are going to release / talk about our TSP rankings. We're going to be covering quarterbacks tonight, both in the NFL and the NCAA. So again, thank you for joining us. Drop a comment. We pretty much respond to all of them. We are very much squirrel brained. So if you say something, we will probably both get distracted and interact with you. So we're all about the interactions and building community, hence the name. So without further ado, Mr. Booker, do you have some trivia for us tonight?
I absolutely do. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. So here's what we got going. Question number 1. And good evening, everyone who's watching. If you know the answer to this, you are more than welcome to help Kevin answer, because even though he is a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan, I would be very surprised if he gets this question correct, unless he just stumbles upon it. So I went into the weeds. I always go into the weeds. Question number 1. Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles received their championship ring today. It weighs as much as A, roll of toilet paper, B, standard baseball, C, a jar of Patrick Mahomes' tears, or D, a roll of quarters. What do you think? I mean, you saw the pictures of the ring, right?
Yeah,
Like, that thing
it's
is
a big old
out of
rock.
control.
I love the pictures of like the old one next, or not the old one, the first one in 2017 compared to this year's. It's like double the size. It's out of control. And we actually
When
have
you
some
see,
we are going to share a little slide of some of the details, because hey, I'm an Eagles fan and we get to celebrate the Super Bowl at least one more time. We'll have banner night, opening night, where you get to steamroll the Cowboys, raise a banner. But yeah, probably like 2 more times where I really get to embrace it. So I'm going to embrace it. Now, this one, there's 2 serious answers here. It's not the toilet paper. It's got to be baseball or a roll of quarters, but I have no idea. So I'm going to go with a jar of Patrick Mahomes tears, just because that's incredible. That is awesome to even come up with that. And I'm impressed that you found this trivia in such short notice, because they just released the rings like a day or 2 ago. So
oh yeah,
props to you, scratching me right where my heart itches. And yeah, so I'm gonna go with C, a jar of Patrick Mahomes tears. Anybody listening who likes the Eagles, again, hit us up with a little "Go Birds" in the comment. Love that.
Go
So
Birds. All right. You are incorrect, but I still am going to give you points because
thank you.
that's it. That jar weighs, it's a good amount. It's like a newborn baby, probably.
Yeah,
It's
standard
B,
baseball.
a standard baseball. So
Okay.
140 grams of diamonds, white gold, and created. This is what it said. It's a created green sapphire because I guess sapphire is normally a different color. I think it's blue. But anyway, 140 grams. Like, so you see that picture on, like, of the two.
Yeah.
But then I saw a picture of like one of the players' wives with that ring on their hand because it looks
Yeah.
huge on an
Yeah.
NFL football player's hand.
Oh yeah.
Then I see the picture of it on like just a normal human, and that thing like just engulfs her hand. So I mean, incredible. And then the wings that pop out are
Yeah.
so, it's just so cool, man.
I've been loving the comments and the things on X of like the knockoff replicas better have wings or something like that. Just like people are gonna be selling replicas without the wings. So yeah, that is an incredible design, and yeah, loved it. So
Loved it.
nicely
All
done on the
right.
trivia. I like that.
Thank you. Question number 2. We're going into college football, but we are going back really far back again.
Yep, it's classic Booker right here.
Classic. What was the University of Georgia's first mascot? Was it A, a lion, B, a hoplite, which is actually an Athenian warrior, kind of like Spartans in Sparta?
Yeah.
C, a goat, or D, it's always been a bulldog. Now, just as a little context or preface, it wasn't the official mascot. It was more of like a student chosen thing. So I'll leave it there. But what do you think? And any Georgia fans or college football fans who were alive 150 years ago, you can also answer this if you'd like.
Because you said the students and that it's like a frat house thing. I want to lean in Athens, the Athenian warrior, hoplite, hoppy beer, but 115 years ago, I'm like,
it wasn't
exactly
150, but
I mean, they're not fully like a blue blood, but they pretty like, I feel like Georgia's been around for a long time. I think you're trying to trick me with all that other stuff, and I think it's always been a bulldog. They have Uga the 15th, so that I don't know how long bulldogs live, but it makes me think that they've had a bulldog for a long time. Again, maybe there were some frat guys drinking and dressing up like a hoplite, but I'm guessing you're just trying to trick me with all those, and it's always been a bulldog.
All right. Well, I stumped you twice. C, a goat. It was actually nicknamed the Goat in 1892. They were not actually called the Georgia Bulldogs until 1920, and it was by a guy on the radio. It was not till 1956, I believe, until like the first UGA came. So like,
wow, okay,
it's actually that's a newer thing compared to how long. I mean, we're talking in the the 1800s here. Yeah, you did not do incredible this time around, but that is okay.
Well, you baited me with those Patrick Mahomes tears, so I just had to go there. So
yep.
All righty, let's get into our news / continuing the celebration. So while you're pulling that up, I will show our towel one more time. This is one of my coolest memories. I don't know if this has was it the jersey? Anyway, that's a rabbit trail. Anyway, this is from Booker and I got to go to the first Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And so we lost, but I got this sweet towel at the game.
One of the best days.
One of the best days and worst days. Like, incredible to go to a Super Bowl, but like for your team to lose in the fashion that they lost, very much painful.
And being around Kansas City fans.
That being said, the pain of defeat certainly boosts when you see a sweet ring like this. So incredible. Go Birds. I love the Brazil flag on the inside. The pop out wings with coaches is phrase takes the greatness of others to be great. I'm like, oh, this thing is awesome. And again,
I'm going to do this for a second.
Just there we go. I looked it up too. Jason, this is a screenshot from X. Jason of Beverly Hills. I don't know how much that guy makes making all of these rings, but I'm pretty sure he's like the ring guy across all leagues, Like he's the dude. And so just imagine how much he is making to make these ridiculous detailed rings. Like shout out to Jason of Beverly Hills. But yeah, I love so much about this ring. You see there on the Hertz one, that's actually the link. I saw they have, obviously the scores on the inside is sweet. The flag is sweet. Oh man, it's just so good to celebrate. And so happy to see all the players, the Jake Elliott's, the Brandon Grahams, the players who got their second ring and have stuck around. It kind of made me sad. Jason Kelsey no longer on the team. Just how last year ended. But yeah, there we go.
Well, I can tell you this. Jason from Beverly Hills makes so much money that he is just known as Jason of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, there we go. He doesn't need a last name. So anyway, go Birds. Again, drop us a comment if we got any Eagles fans watching. And we try not to be too homer. Obviously, we have Tennessee Vol theme. That was very much intentional by my beloved co-host here. But we love our teams, but we try not to just be a homerism podcast and talk Tennessee and Bills and Eagles and the teams that we like. But sometimes you just gotta do it. So shout out to the Eagles, Super Bowl champs. Let's go get another one this year. So I love the mindset. And honestly, I kind of wanted to go down the Cam Newton, Jalen Hurts rabbit hole, but I'm just it's so.
Don't do it.
Yeah. And
for the sake of our
listeners. we love Cam Newton. Like we've been to how many? We go to 3 Panthers games when we lived in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like the best game I've ever been to was, I think we've mentioned this on the pod, but you got us seats to row 1A 40-yard line, Cam Newton. And to see him in the huddle standing next to offensive linemen it was ridiculous. I mean, he literally was Superman out there. So we love Cam Newton, but it's like, dude, don't be coming at Jalen Hurts. I'll just leave it at that. And I'm just so happy that Jalen Hurts is my quarterback because he could care less about this kind of stuff. He's just like, you know what? Let me go get another one. So, yeah, love that. All right, moving along. Oh,
my goodness!
Sorry, no, you got it. You got it. I'll let you drive. So big news this week: T.J. Watt, 3 years, $123 million. Again, we've mentioned this on the pod. But I don't know. Is there new NFL fans? Like, do you think there's I guess there are new NFL fans all the time. I just think of the NFL, like everybody has loved the NFL for their entire life. It's hard to think of oh, I'm a brand new NFL fan, mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe it's just we're football, whatever's. But like we've talked about before, anytime you see these NFL contracts, just pretty much subtract a year and subtract some money because they can always cut you early. And so let's maybe go forward one into the SPO track, and then I think you had maybe a question or a follow-up on this, but let you drive. No so worries, you see it here. SPO track is an awesome resource. Just because it's fun to see cap hits. Again, you can nerd out on some of this football stuff, but you can see the Steelers, they obviously had him under contract this year. And so really this is a 3-year, $108 million, which brings all of those numbers down. And you can always tell in that guaranteed money where okay, they could really cut him at that $100 million and he's not going to get that full upside. Are they going to pay 34-year-old TJ Watt a $46 million cap hit? Probably not. They probably either extend him or cut him if he's not good anymore. If he's good, then they're going to divide that up over, his age 35 season. And so I think he's worth it in the sense. Sorry, I think I just ruined your question there. Is he worth it? Was that your?
That was my question. Is that?
Do you have any question? Yeah. Is he worth it? We talked a little bit about that before the show. I think he's worth it because you're a bigger chess fan than me. I kind of like chess. I've been using the analogy or the metaphor a lot of castling the king, mainly because it's the only chess maneuver that I know. I don't know anything else about chess. I just follow my nose when I'm playing chess, which is I'm not a good chess player. I don't think I've ever beaten you. And so to me, though, the Steelers, you bring in DK Metcalf, you sign Aaron Rodgers, you have a rookie quarterback coming next year. And even if Will Howard's not the guy, you're going to draft another rookie quarterback. So you had to Yeah, you can't trade TJ Watt unless it's for like a Micah Parsons or another elite pass rusher. So this was always going to get done. He's worth it because he's a top 3 edge rusher in the game, and that's the going rate right now. So it's crazy. But then you also, like, one quick rabbit trail to the NBA, like SGA just signed for $71 million per year, where TJ is getting 36 to 40, depending on how you shake out the cap number. So is he worth it? It's probably not always a good idea to pay a pass rusher into their 30s top money, but it's where the league's at. I do think players are playing longer and longer. Not everybody's going to make it to Tom Brady 45, but I do think some of those numbers of, when a running back hits 30, I think some of those are getting pushed out. We're seeing athletes, technology, the way these guys take care of their bodies to play longer. But history says once you hit 30, 31, you're kind of past your athletic prime. So, any other thoughts you have on TJ Watt getting this big deal?
No, I just think that I was thinking about, this type of money, like the standard continues to be, or it just continues to move. He's the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL is what I was reading. So like, where does it end? At what point, he's just setting the market price for different things. So yeah, I don't know that he was worth it, but the way you break it down there on, they don't have to commit fully, I guess, to that. But my question more so is, and I know we got to move on, but SGA, he's taking as many hits against that hardwood floor as he's flopping as TJ Watt does on the defensive line. So anyway,
fair enough. All right. Because sometimes I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to hit, like,
you hit it. I'll just
on some of these, but then sometimes it is nice. If anybody wants to be our grunt apprentice, work for free show producer, let us know. We won't pay you other than our friendship, but we'll have a good time.
That's worth so much, though.
It's worth so much. So anyway, Chargers camp. So the title of tonight's show, or part of the title, was the NFL's Ben Simmons. My answer is pretty clear. I posted on X yesterday, maybe the day before, of who's the biggest NFL draft bust. I don't remember if the question was specifically wide receivers, but to me it is Jalen Reagor, because Justin Jefferson was the next pick. And so we were talking about before the show that Jalen Reagor looks like Justin Jefferson in training camp. Like, I'm sure somebody's put together on YouTube a Jalen Reagor training camp highlight package. It's ridiculous. Like, he is the best wide receiver in the NFL in the preseason, in training camp. And I don't know if it's the bright lights. I'm not real sure why he can't put it together on the field during the months of September to January, but he just disappears. And so, all love to Jalen Reagor. We take that loss so that we could get AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and now sitting on 2 Super Bowls. So it all worked out. But Chargers full swing camp. One question I had for you: everybody's all in on Ladd McConkey, rightfully so. 9 for 197 and a touchdown in the playoffs. What are we thinking about Trey Harris? I know there was the contract issue, but I think the contract issue is across second-round picks in the NFL this year. Like, now that the NFL's realized, we have to fully guaranteed second-round picks, I think they were all just kind of waiting for that, more than like, Trey Harris is going to sit out, hold out. I think Trey Harris might be the sneaky pick for the Chargers. Like, looking back, I wish I had his box score in college, but he put up some ridiculous games for Ole Miss. And I just think that history of wide receivers from Ole Miss is good. He's a big body. Honestly, he's a young, I think that's probably why Mike Williams retired, is because they're like, Big Mike, you're awesome, but this guy's younger, cheaper, and you're not going to see the field anymore. And so I think Trey Harris could be a sneaky, again, we were talking pre-show, Ladd might catch 100, 105 passes, 4 touchdowns, and he's going to be a good player. Is he going to return that value of a second or third round pick? I don't know. I could easily see Trey Harris catching 10 to 13 touchdowns and coming somewhat close and being nearly free in your fantasy draft. And so
that's exactly why I would be taking Trey Harris here.
yeah,
The price of Lad McConkey, it's too high, and I think that the floor, the ceiling of Trey Harris is worth that late round flyer. So I would take, to answer your question, Trey Harris actually.
And I'm kicking myself in our Campus Canton League. I traded McConkey when he was on Georgia. The biggest reason I traded him, I had no idea he was going to be this much of an NFL dude, but he was just hurt all the time in college. And so I'm not saying that's gonna follow him, but that to me sticks in my mind of like every time I wanted to start him on our college team, he was hurt or not able to play. And so he had a couple decent college games, but for the most part, he didn't play much. And so, yeah, I traded him. I'm kind of regretting that now. And I still think he's going to have a great season. Again, that price to production, Trey Harris might be a sneaky. When you look at the tight ends on San Diego, on Los Angeles, the Disleys, they have a couple other guys. They're just your middle level tight ends. They're not going to take a lot of targets. They are going to want to run the ball, but Herbert's, he's still going to have to throw the ball. So let's move along. We got the Lions reporting today. Shout out National Tattoo Day. I don't know. This is just the graphic I found. So my one question for you here, and again, we want to get into our rankings, so we're supposed to be blasting through this a little more. But my question for you is the Lions, 2 new coordinators on offensive and defensive. They promoted from within. I'm pretty sure. Don't misquote or don't come after me, Detroit fans. Which they are a hostile bunch on X. I've found in the past, but anyway. So this hits close to home because a couple years ago, back to that Super Bowl, the next year the Eagles lost both their coordinators. They promoted within, started the season 10-1, and then the wheels fell off the bus, and there was some major regression before they made it back this past year. So my question for you is, do you think the Lions just hit the ground running, business as usual? Dan Campbell holds that culture together? Or do you think there's going to be a little bumps in the road? I mean, you can't but not fall down a little bit from 15-2. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Does Detroit regress a little bit, or do they stay just the juggernaut that they've been the last year and a half?
Forgive me, Detroit fans, but I think they go from
Get him.
I would use the word elite. I would say the word elite with their roster and with Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
To very good. They still have like Jahmyr Gibbs. They still have David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, and like an awesome O-line. I do think that what is his name? Morton? Yeah, John Morton. He knows what he's doing, but like he is not Ben Johnson. And so there's no way they don't have a year where things just don't exactly meld, because you just can't. I don't think you can plug and play anyone else to replace Ben Johnson and get the same amount of production. So they're going to have a good year, but they take a small step back. That being said, though, I'm still drafting Lions like full speed. There's no,
absolutely.
They're studs all over the offensive side of that ball. So,
and what do you think about this comparison? Like a big thing with Detroit last year is no defense. Like they were so hurt on defense across the board, all positions. They had guys, Dan Campbell had a quote of like, we went for it on 4th down because we had no idea who, we didn't want to put those guys in that kind of a situation. But then to me, I compare him to Cincinnati. It's like, is Jared Goff better than Joe Burrow? Like, go ahead and clip that into a YouTube short. Like, is Jared Goff a better quarterback than Joe Burrow? Like, I don't know. I mean, because the narrative with Cincinnati is they miss the playoffs, they can't get it done, but they have an elite offense. The Detroit did not have much of a defense last year. They had an elite offense, and they went 15-2. So, again, they probably hit luck in a lot of great ways last year, won a lot of close games that maybe teams lose. Again, one score victories is sometimes a tricky metric because that can easily go the other direction. So it could be something as simple as that, but just an interesting food for thought of Jared Goff. I'm not saying he's better than Joe Burrow. I saw a quote from Jamar Chase today of like, me and T Higgins want to prove that we're worth the money. I'm like, yeah, but then you also had a quote saying we need our defense to step up, and so I think I tend to agree with you, but I also think Detroit's defense should be a lot better this year.
Yeah,
So they might not be 15-2, the 1 seed, but I think they still have a good season. So
agreed.
let's go ahead and where are we at on time? Let me looks like 30 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and skip the Saints quarterback battle because, well, it's
I
probably
hope it's
just
Rattler. I just want it to be Rattler.
you want to be
I just want it to be
Rattler?
Rattler.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it'll be Shuck, second rounder versus fifth round. Okay, cool. We blasted that. Nicely done.
Yay.
This one's just good. Which seed is hotter? Again, we won't pontificate too long on this, but it's kind of an easy question. But when you look a little deeper, maybe it's not. Tyler Diesel, if you're listening, I don't know if you think your coach's seat is hot or not, but yeah, let us know. But Mr. Booker here, which seat is hotter? Is it Brian Daboll, New York Giants, or Steve Steichen for the Indianapolis Colts?
I think it depends who you ask that question to. I think as a non-fan of either team, truthfully, but a fan of the NFL, I can't remember since Tom Coughlin a time where there was not the New York Giants head coaching job was not like whoever was starting, like whoever came in, the seat was already scorching hot.
Yeah.
So I'm going Daboll here, and I think that Indy has the pieces. I don't know necessarily that it's coaching that is the issue. I think things just have not been able to fit together, even though they've got some good pieces. So I think Daboll is got the hotter seat because it's just kind of a revolving door. I know he's been there for a few years, but they just haven't been able to get it together. Now they do have Malik Neighbors, and then Malik, yeah. His name's Malik Neighbors.
His
So
name
they've
is
got
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, you know what it is. He's a good neighbor. Yeah. Again, I won't pontificate. It is Daboll.
After I made this, I was like, the only argument for Steichen is he's seen as more of a quarterback guru, and the Indy quarterbacks have sort of performed under expectations. Like if AR comes out and doesn't play well, Danny Dimes doesn't even look like he looks worse than in New York. I could see that as like, hey, you are a quarterback guru we bought in here who's not guruing our quarterbacks. But again, I think it's pretty obviously Daboll. The Giants ownership seems so patient that they one more rabbit trail. Who was the safety that went from the Giants to the Packers? Signed a big contract last year. McKinney? Yeah, McKinney. So Xavier McKinney was ranked as like the top safety in the league last year, near the top in interceptions. Saquon, offensive player of the year, tore it up with your division rival, and they still kept that general manager. So again, I don't know how these guys still have jobs, but in that New York market, that seed has got to be cooking. All right, our college breakout of the week. McKay. I'm going to go McKay, Hillstead, BYU. And we're not going to get into Jake Ratzlaff drama. There's definitely drama there. He's no longer at BYU. So I would say my confidence meter on this is about 50-50. And what I will say with that is there's two potential starters, McKay and then Bear Buckmeyer, I think his name is. And we were kind of in this position last year with Retzlaff, and there's one other guy. I picked wrong last year on the other guy instead of Retzlaff. I think I'm right this year on McKay over Bear Buckmeyer. In high school, I can't remember which year it was, but he had 50 touchdowns, 3,600 yards. He's a dual threat. I just think this BYU team was talented last year. They have a lot of talented players. And so I think he's going to carve himself out a nice role on a pretty good team. And yeah, he's my breakout player of the week.
Nice. One
more. I don't want to skip this one. We'll just go rapid fire on this. We could do a whole podcast on this. But I just saw this article on ESPN. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So 14 players who could be picked number one in the 2026 NFL draft. Again, this is the offseason, so we're looking for stuff. But this is 6 of the names on that article. Spoiler alert. which of those six or which of the two? Actually, let's do this. Who do you think is the most obvious number one overall pick, and who do you think is the biggest surprise of these six guys?
I think the obvious is Arch Manning. I think that depending on what happens this year in Austin, there I don't, this might be worth having a segment. Arch Manning, because of the pedigree and just the obvious talent, like I feel like he's a generational guy, and I don't know if maybe I'm attributing his last name. Like, I think he will live up to the hype. It's possible that NFL teams straight up tank to get Arch Manning. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's maybe more so than many other years where it's just like, you know what? The year's not going well. Arch Manning is entering the NFL draft. We need a quarterback, and this guy could be our guy for forever. So Arch Manning's the obvious. I think the surprising one on here for me is probably John Mateer. I mean, I think that he obviously tore it up at Washington State down in Pullman, but now he's playing at OU. So he's got he's playing a slightly different level of player. Now he does have a lot of talent surrounding him as well. So I think John Mateer would be the surprising number one, but I drafted him. So if that happens, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll save this for a future one and get into it a little more. The one interesting thing with Arch, obviously the obvious name, but with Eli and the shenanigans he pulled and some of the, I don't know, I can't remember if it was directly from Peyton or other like people saying like he is quite okay with coming back and playing 4 years and like having another season at Texas, where I think I was in the camp of Arch Manning to the NFL next year. I think he's going to be a little selective of like, if it's, let's say the Jaguars or the Browns at number one, like I can go back to Texas and make good money and possibly win either another championship or win a championship. I just think with the NIL, and we didn't see it as much this year, sort of Shamar Stewart, where like, hey, maybe, you know what? I won't play this year. Like, I'll go back to college, not because I am forfeiting NFL money, but like I can go back to college and make money, like millions. And so I just think the Arch Manning thing is going to be interesting. And I used to be in the camp of he's going, tank for Arch next year. I'm not so sure. So
the NIL does change everything.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're going to transition here into our rankings. This is the meat of our episode. It's a drink coffee at 6:00 kind of day. So I gotta stay awake. I gotta stay active. We got UFC 318 tonight. Really excited about that. Poirier's. Oh man, see our cameras. I wish it would have flipped us we would have been with our names, but it's all right. It's all right. This is perfect. You did great. I don't think it's on you. I think it's more StreamYard. It just like puts you up there wherever
it wants.
So we're drinking coffee. We're staying awake. And here is our TSP ranking. So we are planning to release both NFL and NCAA rankings throughout the year. And so, yeah, first glance here, this is our NFL side. I'll kind of go through the bulk of mine, and then I'm going to start reading off your list because it's closer to my head. And
don't do it.
I got to make sure I look across the aisle there at my own rankings. But Josh Allen, we both agree there. You've got Pat Mahomes 2. I've got Lamar 2. I think with my first three, I was like, who's the safest picks? And even if you don't agree with Jalen Hurts that high, volume of the offense or the passing, hey, the tush push is here to stay. And if you look at his career, he's been a top 10 quarterback like the last 4 years. And so I like the safety there, where I don't know if he's going to finish 2, 3, 5, 7, but I'm pretty confident if he's healthy and he doesn't really miss games, knock on desk, he's going to finish in that top 10. So I like the safety of that over a Jaden Daniels. I heard something interesting on Joe Burrow, and we both have him ranked 6. Joe Burrow, I can't remember what podcast I was listening to on YouTube, but they pretty much said, like, for Joe Burrow to hit what he did last year, everything has to go extremely right. And so you're kind of banking because he doesn't run the ball. You're banking that he's able to hit all of the passing touchdowns, all of the yards, and stay healthy when he's having to drop back and throw 50 times a game. He's still Joe Burrow. I think he's still a top quarterback. So we both feel good about him there. Probably on my side, the biggest, people will get after me is probably the Justin Fields at 8. Dak at 10.
That is just wishful thinking right there, man.
I have some data to back that one up. Dak at 10 is probably, I think both of them feel in the same camp with me. There's clear history where they can finish as a top 10 quarterback, but there's some question marks. And so I wouldn't feel good drafting them, but I do think that they finish, like, again, I'm going to draft. I like safety. I like to bank on things that I can count on. If you get too many flyers, too much risk in your drafts, you're banking that all your risks are going to pan out. Give me the steady eddies that are going to get me to the championship. If I need to make a trade for a home run hitter, I'll do that. But you're not going to make it there if half of your guys are injured by week 5. And so that being said, Justin Fields, his last full season as a starter, he was QB 8. So that's not, that's pretty slick there how I put him at 8, but he's got top 10 potential. If he plays a full season with Garrett Wilson, his rushing ability, I have no doubts that he will finish as a top 10 quarterback. He's too good of a runner, and that matters so much in fantasy football, where he doesn't have to, he can throw 15, 20 interceptions and still be, and the beauty is you don't have to draft him. I don't know what his ADP is right now, but you're not paying quarterback 8 value. You're paying less for him, and I think he's going to finish higher than where you draft him. So I guess with that argument, he's on my Campus to Canton team, and I'm hoping that he has a great year. So more specifically, I'm hoping he has an excellent week 1 so I can trade him. So my question
I would say, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. So my question for you, no, go ahead.
I wanted to ask, so like the biggest surprise on your list for me is definitely Justin Fields. What is your biggest surprise where you're like, that's kind of a shady, I disagree on my list?
For your list.
Because I do shoot for, oftentimes I will shoot for the stars. Truthfully, like through experience, I remember when Patrick Mahomes was coming out of Texas Tech, I picked him up his rookie year. And I remember him just becoming this hot commodity. And maybe I'm just like aiming to like hit the lottery again with some like, the Drake Mays. So anyway, what do you think about that? My list.
I think, the Penix and the May stand out there on just, do both of them finish top 11? I don't think they both will. I think one of them could, but give me the Baker Mayfield. Give me even a Bo Nix, where Bo Nix might not finish 1, 2, 3, or 4, but I feel pretty good that he's going to finish in that 5 to 12 range. They improved the offense. I do. So I like this safety and the offense, the team culture around like a Bo Nix, even a Justin Herbert. Like, again, that same podcast I was listening to, they were talking team success is huge for fantasy football. And so that's kind of a downside for a Justin Fields. I would say that's a downside for a Michael Penix. I trust that the Patriots, like, they have a good coach, but are all those new pieces going to come together, or are they going to win 5 games? And so that's where I'm a little hesitant on the Drake May and the Penix. Geno Smith is interesting. He's got the top 10 potential. Don't quote me on this. I think he's finished top 10 as a quarterback one time in his career, and he hasn't been the, no doubt about it, starter, maybe 3 or 4 seasons in his whole career. But yeah, those are the 2 guys that stand out to me. I like your Jared Goff at 7. I should have probably put him a little higher on mine. Probably should bump Caleb Williams down. But this is our preseason rankings. It'll change, especially after week 1. We probably won't update these until after week 1. But those are my thoughts. Any other thoughts you have on rankings before we move along?
No, I just hope I'm wrong about Patrick Mahomes, truthfully. But I think that he's probably pretty driven.
Yeah,
he's probably pretty driven.
And I think they had a lot of injury issues last year. He cut the hair. I think we're getting revenge tour. Just decent. Yeah.
We got a comment from Jayhawks.
Appreciate you, Jayhawks. Yeah. I think finish up the Mahomes, and we kind of just touched on the Jets and Justin Fields, but yeah, I think he goes scorched earth. I was hearing something too where the Kansas City running backs, people are sleeping on the Kansas City running backs because if this offense is good, I think Vegas has the Chiefs ranked as like the odds are that they are the fourth best scoring offense in the league. And so if that is accurate and Vegas is pretty good at making money, like the running back is going to have a lot of potential in this offense. And so I think people are sleeping on that. I think Travis Kelsey is going to have one more like pretty good year, not like crazy elite, but he's motivated to have one more good year. I think finish his career strong. He came out with a quote recently where it was like kind of he was a little distracted last year, maybe a little T Swift effect of I got the girlfriend. I'm not saying he took the foot off the graph, but this is from his. Go ahead and check the quote internet before you give me a hard time. But he himself was admitting to being a little distracted last year, and so I think he's focused. Patrick is focused. I dislike the Chiefs. Go Birds. But sorry, my camera's doing funky things. I got to figure that out. My apologies, people. The focus is good, but it's like it's moving all over the place. So I'll get that dialed in. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But yeah, Dak Prescott, the Cowboys, we both have him ranked in the top 12. Clearly potential. I mean, you add a George Pickens, CD Lamb. They're not going to be able to run the ball. So he could be the Joe Burrow this year where like a lot of things are going to go right because he's going to have to throw the ball. Again, are the Cowboys going to be good? I don't know. I could see them winning 11 games. I could see them winning 6. And so it'd just be interesting. Yeah, let's move over to our NCAA side of things.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Take us away.
Take us away. All right. So here's our pre-season rankings, top 12 for NCAA. I'm going to go ahead and just say my top 5. So top 5 right off the bat, TSP preseason NCAA football rankings. I've got Arch Manning at number 1, Garrett Nussmeier at number 2, Cade Klubnik at number 3, Sam Levitt at number 4, and Lenoris Sellers at number 5. So you have we have some discrepancies here that are very interesting. I like having Lenoris Sellers at number 1 on that South Carolina offense. I know that he's going to sling it. I know that Nick Harbor is supposed to have a breakout year on the wide receiving core. So like, and he's a dual threat quarterback. So I see Lenoris Sellers having an incredible year, but to put him ahead of Arch Manning to me is asinine at best. And you know that I love you, but if that happens, I feel like I've got to do something, like maybe send you a T-shirt or something. Garrett Nussmeier at number 2. I mean, he came back to LSU, and I don't think he had to. Yeah. So that man is coming back with some bad intentions, and I think he's got some great players around him. Cade Durham in the backfield to help relieve some of the stress on throwing the ball. Nick Anderson. Yeah, I like LSU this year. I like Garrett Nussmeier. He's got a cannon for an arm. You having Drew Aller at number 2. Oh man, I cannot get on board with that one either. He's probably gonna have a better year than I think, but I've had Drew Aller. I traded for Drew Aller last year on our Fantrax campus to Canton, and ended up trading him away because he's not been able to put it together. And I don't know if I think it's his receiving core. Obviously at Penn State, I mean, you've got Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen behind you, like and then Tyler Warren he can run the ball as well. I think Drew Aller has all the talent and the capability. I've not seen him be a top 5 quarterback. So I mean, the statistics may prove me wrong, but having him at number 2, that is an interesting take, and it might happen. Who knows? I think Sam Levitt at number 4 for me he might even do better. Right? I mean, he's in the Big 12 with Arizona State. The Big 12 is, there's just a lot of scoring happening there and no defense, and he's got an arm. So I'm looking at Sam Levitt and trying to pick him up in my league. if I can. Someone else that I have on my team or on my top 12 that you don't have is Dante Moore out of Oregon. This guy, I mean, he has moved around a lot through the transfer portal, but he's a former 5-star. That Oregon offense is high powered, and they've got some great running backs behind him to take some of the pressure off as well. So, yeah, I'm trying to look here. So you've got Devin Dampier. He was at University of New Mexico last year. You've got him at number 11. That'll be interesting to see. Sawyer Robinson. I'm just hopping around here as I see names.
Yeah.
I apologize, but I do like your John Mateer at number 6. I think he's going to have a year. There's going to be a steep learning curve, I think, though, as he comes in. Let's see, anyone different on here other than that? I don't have Sawyer Robertson, but he is at Baylor, and I think that he is going to have a good year. As well. So I mean, I'm just rambling a little bit. I think he's a sneaky pick.
Let me jump in here. So Dampier, honestly, he was kind of a late add-on, and I've got my fan tracks pulled up here. Last season, 2,700 passing yards, 12 touchdowns, 1,100 rushing, and 19 touchdowns on the ground. That 19 touchdowns and 1,100 rushing yards for a team that wants to run the ball, I'm like, okay, he's going to finish top. Again, I think he's going to finish well on a good team. I don't know if he hits those exact numbers, but him and John Mateer were sort of similar for me. They were late add-ons where John Mateer last season, sorry, I'm just jumping around here on my computer, he had 429 fantasy points, which, again, if you're new to college fantasy football, that's a lot of fantasy for college football. Like, they play less games. That's close to Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels had like 471 2 years ago. He was on your team. I don't know if you remember how many he finished that 50 touchdown season, but
yeah,
it was close. And the bonus is his offensive coordinator went to Oklahoma with him. So Venables, known defensive guy, but bringing that OC in a week, Big 12, they're not going to play defense. I think Oklahoma is going to be slinging the pill. They might not win more than 7 games, but I do think Mateer is going to have a nice season. And then one other, so Drew Aller finished quarterback 8 last year. I have similar arguments for Sellers and Drew Aller. Again, I'm probably speculating more on my college side than my NFL, but I'm expecting a little bit of hero ball from Drew Aller and Lenore Sellers. Drew Aller specifically, no Tyler Warren. They lost the running backs. I'm not saying he's Josh Allen. We missed in our who might get drafted number 1 overall next year. He might get drafted number 1 because people are going to look at him and see, hey, that could be Josh Allen, like big white guy, strong, can run people over. Like, let's take him, So I think Drew Aller is going to have to play hero ball a little more this year. I think he runs more and has to carry that offense more than in the past where it's like, hey, turn around, hand the ball off to 2 elite running backs. I just think he's got a chance to finish top 5 this season. Same thing with Sellers. Same thing having, Diego Pavia high. Just the ability to run is huge in fantasy football. No matter what type of fantasy football you play, if you have a quarterback that can run, they're going to rank a little bit higher. I'll touch on Sawyer Robinson and let you finish us up, but he finished, and I'm kind of bummed I just traded him away, but I think I got good value in return because if people were giving him as much respect as they should, he would have, I would have gotten even more for him. I think I got good value. He's going to finish well for you this year. He finished as QB9 last season, 3,000 passing yards, 28 touchdowns. He could run the ball as well. Again, Baylor might not be crazy, but they're going to score. And so I think he's going to finish as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. If he stayed, any fantasy football advice across anywhere is going to be if they are healthy. Like, if CMC is healthy for 17 games, you should draft him number 1 running back in all leagues. But there's some injury risk in everything. That being said, Sawyer Robinson, I love him. I think he's going to do well. I'm just bummed I traded him away. So.
Yeah, I think the last thing that I want to mention is Taylon Green at number 12, Arkansas quarterback.
Yep.
Last year, I think he's a sneaky pick. last year he amassed 3,700 yards and 23 touchdowns. So they are saying that he's going to just be even better and potentially a Heisman candidate, a dark horse. So keep an eye out for Taylor Green at Arkansas.
And this is so tricky in college because there's so in the NFL you have 32 quarterbacks, really 32 quarterbacks, which you're picking from like 15 of them in a given week. In college football, there's so many. I mean, there's probably 50 that could finish as a quarterback one each week. So you're trying to figure out, hey, who are the safer bets? We will have our waiver wire pick coming up, our waiver wire kind of video column, X post, whatever you want to call it. But Sawyer Robinson was on that last year. We talked about Jack Endries last year. So that's the kind of research we want to be doing, especially once the season hits, of who are those guys you can pick up and will do well this week. They have a good matchup. They might finish as a top 10 player. Some of these guys, especially in college football, if you have a Drew Aller or an Arch Manning, you're going to start him. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. Any other final thoughts you have? You said 5 weeks until college football.
I think it's 5 Saturdays. Yeah. And actually there's a week 0 now, but week 1, you've got a Texas Ohio State matchup at 9 a.m. Pacific time that I am quite excited.
Yep.
Quite excited.
So
yeah.
All righty. Well, very good. I'm excited for football, excited for the rest of the week. We got UFC 318 tonight. Do you think Max Holloway or Poirier who wins tonight?
I think Holloway does. I mean, I like the way Holloway fights, and he's taken. I think he's beaten him. Or are they 1-1?
I'm not sure what.
I'd have to check that, but I watched that last one. I don't watch all the UFC fights, but I did watch that last one. Poirier and Holloway too, and Holloway just kind of had his way with him. So, but this is Poirier's last. They're saying his last main event. So maybe he just goes all in and is willing to die in the octagon tonight. So who do you have?
Yeah. I think the Poirier at his hometown, crowd's going to be behind him. I think he gets it done in his last fight, empties the tank. That being said, the empty in the tank mindset can also get you caught. So, it should be a good fight. I think I hope it goes 5 rounds, and but I think Poirier gets it done in his hometown. So
that's where you and I differ right there, man. You hope it goes 5 rounds. I'm okay with it ending in 38 seconds as long as it's a knockout.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm all about that, but seeing like the back and forth battles, 5-round championship, I'm like, that stuff's all, like, I don't know, the heavyweight, what was Big Boy last week that took that guy down in the first round, like that stuff's awesome. But I think I like the fight as long as if it's 5 rounds of ground control wrestling, that kind of, you're like, oh, God. I get there's the art of that. But it just, you want to see guys at least trying to strike, at least the back and forth where, when it gets to be 20 minutes of ground control, you're like, all right, man, come on, let's get up and throw some hands or kicks or something. So, all right. Thank you guys for listening. Any other, we'll linger here for a few seconds. We got to sign off here soon, but any other fantasy football questions? You guys listening? We're in peak draft season. We've got a Campus of Canton startup draft, hopefully starting soon. More information we hope to be kind of as our Campus to Canton League with Crew Talk Sports is going on. We'll be using that into some show content. And I haven't had any, trying to think if I've had any redraft leagues drafts so far. I have a couple that are coming up. We got to get our home league rebooted and get that going. But we are just about in the peak draft season. Again, push your drafts as late as possible. Nobody wants to be taking guys and then they tear out their ACL, week 1 of training camp. That's brutal for anybody. I would say push those drafts back. You will have time to do it, especially in the NFL. Campus of Canton, when you're like 5 weeks, first game, I'm like, oh, we better get this into gear. But anybody else out there listening, do you have any fantasy football questions? If not, we will sign off. So I think that's it. I think it's just you and I. Just you and I.
It's just you and I.
All righty, man. Well, you have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll enjoy some fighting tonight, and we'll see you guys next time. If you like football, you love football, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Appreciate you guys, your comments, your feedback on X. We love continuing to build community through this podcast, hopefully more and more as we go forward, and excited for, I don't know if we'll go season 2 or I think we'll just keep counting up the episodes, but every time I post the podcast, it's like, which season are you on? I'm like, I don't know. We're just on, we don't really do seasons, but that'd be an interesting off show topic. But anyway, have a good night, man. Until next time.
Yeah, you as well. Have a good night, everybody.
All right.